Season 14. The first season where League of Legends is actually changing their map. No one wants to talk about the alcoves. You know what I mean when I say change the map. Like they're actually changing the terrain. They're doing all sorts of things like this. So here we are. I'm playing it. I'm enjoying League of Legends a lot again, guys. So it's safe to say I'm back. And I appreciate the support in the comments of all my older videos, basically saying like where you're at, my Discord, things like this. So a lot of news, a lot of things that I want to share with you guys. This is just going to be a voiceover of a season 14 video. So runes, this is a quick play. So quick play, what it is, it's basically like how it is on, I think it's on live servers too, actually. Yeah, all I'm doing is playing PB, but I think it's on live servers too. What it is, like you pick your champions, your role, your runes. And I wouldn't have picked Conquer. I didn't really know, like it bugged out. I don't know. I would have went Lethal Tempo and I would have went Tenacity. I have Alacrity and Conquer in this game, but whatever. It is what it is. Lethal Tempo is really, really good with the Season 14 items. The new Titanic Hydra is back. Finally, like new / old Tiamat / Hydra. You know, they're all old. I really thought, like, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have leveled up. I should have realized I didn't have my E, so I should have chilled and played a little bit safer there. It was really, really greedy in me to do that, but whatever. So in Season 14, what I'm going to practice and get used to doing top lane is I'm going to get used to going longsword first item, like longsword with a refillable, because that builds into Tiamat now. So that's really, really strong. You basically just have 300. Yeah, you have less gold stats than if you were to start a Dorn Shield or Dorn's Blade or whatever Dorn's item, but you end up getting your spike to wave clear so much faster and stuff like this. But yeah, this is on PB, like I'm saying, so 70 ping. I'm not really like too used to the clicks and all these things in the game yet, so a couple more hours of probably, you know, gameplay and getting used to the clicking of the buttons. Get back to where I was. So yeah, so Conquer isn't necessarily the worst now. Oh, I mean, it was never bad, but Conquer, you can argue that Conquer champions got buffed if they built Tiamat, because the Tiamat active applies a stack of Conquer, so that's really good. So all I'm doing here is I'm not trying to auto or anything here. Sucks that the fear didn't land. In hindsight, what I could have done was Q a minion to fear, but I wanted the Q damage to go onto the Pantheon there. So, but yeah, so with Tiamat being an active now, it does apply a stack of Conquer, which is pretty nice. Can't believe I missed that tank minion, dude. What? So right now I got my Tiamat, which is going to be big. So old Tiamat, old Titanic, those things are absolutely huge on Warwick. They changed Stride Breaker as well. For those that don't know, they got rid of Mythics. But yeah, they changed Stride Breaker, so no longer it doesn't do damage anymore. It just like the active doesn't do damage anymore. It just does an AoE slow, but then it also buffs your movement speed. So it'll be interesting to playtest and things like this. But yeah, honestly, like, let's just talk about some things with the channel. I definitely don't want to just do only Warwick, to be 100% honest with you guys. I'm probably going to do like 3 videos a week of Warwick and 3 videos of other stuff, like, you know, other fun videos, or, you know, even just like things like this where I'm just talking over a video. Like, if you guys like the voiceovers like this where I'm just talking about everyday things, man, like stories that go on in my life or crazy news or things that happen around, like stuff like this. Like, there was a crazy story, you know, for those that don't know, I'm from Canada. Like, there's a crazy story that was going near like the US border, and because like I live near the US border, Canada-US border. There's a crazy story where like basically this Bentley and all these things, and originally they thought it was like an attack, like a terrorist attack, but then it's because we didn't know what it was, and this is all about an hour away from me. So long story short, this car went like 10 feet in the air into a building. The entire car like blew up, and yeah, I think 2 people died. So sad story, but yeah. So right there, what I was trying to do, because Volibear has brambles, I was trying to delay my ult as much as possible to hit the Pantheon while I didn't have grievous wounds on me, but obviously that didn't happen. But yeah, and also what I do really want to start doing as well is, like, just to keep it fresh, right? Like, if I like the game, I want to just play whatever. Like, I don't want to just constantly play champion X, champion Y. Like, I want to just do what I have fun doing, right? And what I have fun doing is like interactive things. Like, I'd love to see comments of like, hey, like, can you try this build? Or hey, can you try this? Or, you know, I hear like this duo in the bot lane is crazy. Can you do a video? Like, stuff like that. Like, you know, or even just like chill videos, man. Like, where it's just even like arenas, or, and then I'm just talking over things, or I don't know. But I do like the idea of doing videos like this where I'm talking over. It's way more chill. Like, that way, whenever I'm playing the game, I can just focus on gameplay. Like, I could focus on doing plays. I could focus on doing things like, you know, like focus on the game. And then here I can focus on doing commentary and talking about, you know, XYZ stories, this and that, right? So I do have a lot of big news with what's going on in my life that I would love to update with you guys on, but that will be for a later video. Some really good news. So yeah, season 14 Warwick, season 14 in general, like huge changes, which I'm really looking forward to. Like, they changed the jungle dynamic a lot, because you can gank and counter jungle in very, very different paths now. You can do all sorts of things where you can tower dive in a you know, in a very unorthodox way compared to the old league map. So now that we got the Titanic, right, the active is so good. It's what it was a couple seasons ago, where you press it and it's an instant auto reset. So that's really, really strong for like lethal tempo. It's really strong for Conqueror as well, but it's really strong for lethal tempo because you can get that quick insta stack and then hopefully get you to like that 6 stack. And then, for example, on Warwick, whenever you're like whenever they're below 50% HP, you get capped attack speed really easily, but then lethal tempo breaks the cap. So Warwick is just, from what I've been experiencing, Warwick is in a really, really strong spot. A lot of my champs are. I really like Fizz. Fizz is in a really strong spot too with all these new changes. There's a lot of new AP items that I'm looking forward to do, like Fizz videos, Ari, like all these things, man. So that's going to be a ton of fun. And also another thing is Wit's End. Wit's End used to be, like, for those of you that have been watching me for a while, Wit's End is an item that I really loved before they hard nerfed it. So it was no longer a good first buy, and it's still not really a good first buy because the damage is pretty bad, like on hit. But they really buffed the item overall. Like, still not good first buy, but it's good second or third buy. It gives more attack speed. It gives more MR. I think live is 40% armor, 40% attack speed, and 40 MR. Now it gives 50% attack speed, 50 MR, and 20 tenacity, 20% tenacity. So a really, really strong tactic that I want to do a video on is, you know, Legend Tenacity, which is 20% tenacity, that Wit's End, which is 20%, and then you go Swifty Boots, right? You don't really necessarily want to go Merc Treads because then it's not going to be a true, like it's percentage based, so it doesn't really it doesn't stack. Like 20% ends up being, yeah, it is 40%, but whenever you add 35% to boots, it's not now 75%. It's not like that. So it ends up, I forget what the number was, but you get diminishing returns on tenacity. That's going to be over that combo there. But if you go Swifty Boots, and then if you go Dead Man's Plate, Dead Man's now gives you 25% slow reduction, and Swifty Boots still gives you 25% slow reduction. So that paired with 40% tenacity is going to be really strong, because for those that don't know, whenever you have tenacity, right, and then you get slowed, the impact of the slow or the strength of the slow is the same, right? Like, the strength of the slow is the same. It's just the duration of the slow is what's reduced. But if you have the strength of the slow being reduced from your Swifty Boots and Dead Man's Plate, or like I said, or even just Swifty Boots, like you don't need both, I'm just saying both right now, then that's going to be pretty strong, because that 2-second slow is going to go down to like 1.4 seconds or 1 point whatever seconds it'll be, and then whatever the slow is, it's going to be nerfed by 25 or 50. Like, that's strong, man. So we'll see how that ends up going. I think it's going to be really strong in certain matchups, especially because Warwick loses his movement speed from his W. Okay, and I see his E. I think he flashes. Yeah, he flashes over, so I have to flash away. It is what it is. But yeah, so I think it's going to be really good into certain matchups, certain champions. So it'll be good. And also another thing is with the change of mythics and with the like removal of mythics and the addition of so many more new tank items and changing of AD items. There's a new item where I forget what it's called, but every auto is a light hit and a dark hit. The light hit gives you armor and MR, and the dark hit gives you magic and armor pen. So because they got rid of Divine Sunderer, which was a big item for Warwick. They heavily nerfed Iceborn Gauntlet, so we'll see how it goes. And they also changed Bork slightly, so they made it so that your first auto on a champion, so like on hit attack, either a Q or ult or you know, but anything that's on hit, like a Ezreal Q, stuff like that. Your first hit on a champion slows by 30%. So it doesn't steal attacks move speed now after 3 hits like it did before. I think the slow from the first hit, I mean, that's not bad. I do like it. They added new items, called like Trailblazer or whatever it's called, or I forget what it is. It's like a reworked kind of Dead Man's Plate where you build up movement speed and then you slow them on your first auto. So here I'm just trying to kite. Oh yeah, this is a crazy play. This is a crazy play here. Boom. Okay, so I have Conquer stacked real soon. Okay, there we go. Conquer stacked. So I got my Titanic ready to use, so I use it. So Pantheon's behind me, so he's just getting murked. Look at the HP of Pantheon, man. He's just getting worked right now. So look at the healing that Conquer is doing. Really, really good. And Kassadin comes to clean up, so that's good. It's always good to have Kassadin fed. If it's on your team, of course. So, and yeah, with the Titanic, and whenever I say new Titanic, you know what I mean. It's new / old, but I'm just going to refer to it as new from now on. Because, I mean, for the last few years, it is now new, right? Because it wasn't like this. So, champions like Kled are going to be so much better. I'm really looking forward to this season. I really, really am. It's finally something fresh, finally something new. So, and I have more drive to build the channel because of this news that I will, soon reveal, I guess I'll say. So yeah, if you guys like that idea of doing videos where a comment and that it might be in the new it might be a new video of that, definitely leave me a thumbs up, because I do like doing informative videos on any champions I play. Like, I don't just play this champ, I play every single champion in the game. I've been playing this game for many years, since season 3. So I do like playing every champ, and that way, honestly, like, I can stay consistent with the videos, not feel bored. Because guys, who would have guessed, you get bored playing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So it'll definitely keep it fresh. I love playing Fizz and things like that. So but yeah, if you guys are really looking forward to season 14, go ahead and let me know what you like that they're doing, or if you like changes, or if you don't like any of the changes, if you wish they kept some things, if you expect more things to happen. But in terms of the map, like the overall map, I think the map itself is a really good change, personally. Some of the items are questionable. Some of them are really weak. Some of them are overtuned. Some of the tank ones are very interesting. Like, they have a magic resist Sunfire Cape now, so that's pretty cool. But it doesn't, like, scale up in damage like regular Sunfire Cape. Yeah, like little things like this. I wonder how they're gonna be. Jack Show seems to be like kinda strong, kinda weak. It depends. Like, it's like only really good if it's like a 3rd or 4th item now. Other than what it was before, like, it was a pretty good 2nd item. I was gonna say, it looks like I get it with the type. So what I tried to do there, I tried to just auto the minions and do all stuff there to get some healing, because Pantheon Z obviously doesn't make me heal, so that didn't really happen. So it is what it is there. But yeah. So as I was saying, whenever you're doing whenever you're doing champions, like, I don't know, Fizz, like a new video of Fizz or a new video of Caitlyn, lethality, and all that stuff. Like, it's fun, right? It's fresh, but that's also depending if the changes are going to be good, right? So apparently ADCs are have gotten the least amount of changes. Supports have gotten a ton of changes. Mages have gotten a ton of changes. I really like Rakan support. I really like Nautilus support. I really like Leona, Braum. Like, I love these champs, so I can really play whatever anybody wants to see. And also, another thing, man, is at the end of the day, it shows. It shows if somebody has fun, right? Like, if the videos where I was like trying to climb the masters and I ended up getting like D1 60 LP or 70, whatever it was. You know, like, yeah, sure, it's good. It's high level content for people and that sort of jazz, but the channel was going into a path that I didn't like. It's the wrong reason why I wanted to, like, why I started the channel to begin with. I just wanted to play games, recorded it or not, ranked or not, doesn't matter, just have fun, quality videos versus quality games. And you could argue, yeah, quality game is going to make a quality video. And yes and no, right? So it depends. Like, if somebody, if I want to do a ranked game, say it's like D1 promos or whatever, right? Like, obviously I want to try hard in that game. Like, I do, obviously. So I would rather do a video where it's like I just do something like this, where I talk over it. And that way I can really focus on the gameplay and try to get that high quality video. You know what I'm trying to say? Because, like, high quality video and high quality game, I think that, like, you could argue that they go hand in hand. So right here I'm just looking to buy Bork. Huge item, huge item. So yeah, and then we're gonna look to finish our Thorn Mill. But yeah, so it sucks that Frostfire or Iceborn got pretty nerfed. It doesn't increase the slow on the main target. They see, look at that, 50% attack speed, 50 MR, and 20% tenacity. Such a good item on Wit's End. But yeah. So Iceborn or Frostfire, you know, Frostfire is the new name. It's just like plated steel caps for Ninja Tabbies. Vets are gonna call it like Tabbies or Ninja Tabbies, Iceborn. Anyways, so Frostfire Gauntlet is pretty hard nerfed, and that was one of Warwick's best items, in my opinion. So that got, you don't want to say gutted, but really heavily nerfed. So we'll see how that ends up going for there. Okay, so we're just gonna go with the help out. Yeah, I was trying to get the Q off, so then I would follow him. Did I get the Ash here? No. Okay, so I just look to go, continue to push. Yeah. Iceborn, or sorry, Frozen Heart. You could, okay, so the thing with Frozen Heart is it's only 2,300 gold now. 2,300 gold, obviously not a lot, especially if you start with like a cloth armor, you know, you only need is 2k more. So 2,300 gold is a really, really cheap item for the stats that it gives. So I think like Iceborn Gauntlet, like Titanic into Iceborn into champs like Tryndamere is going to be super strong, into champs like Quintop. Like, I think that's going to be really strong into those champs, because Frozen Heart is super, super cheap. It still has very, very similar stats. The only thing it lost is 20 armor, but it went down by like 400 gold. So I think that's a pretty good trade-off for how early of an item that you're like, an early of a spike that you're able to get from it. So yeah, they added a really cool item that I want to play test with, like Spear Visage and all that stuff. I forget the name of it. They don't even have a picture for it yet, but it's the item where it gives you 80 MR, 80 magic resist. Okay, and for that 80 magic resist, it also gives you 600 health. So that is ridiculously tanky, like MR and just HP item. And also what it does, the passive, is it gives you 20% of your max HP as a magic shield. If you haven't taken magic damage within 12 seconds, it gives you a 20% magic shield. That is going to be really strong for engagers. It's going to be really strong for, you know, a heavy AP team. So we'll see how it goes. And there's a lot of new tank items, which I'm really looking forward to. And I'm really looking forward to how the build paths can go for so many different items. They changed Warmogs as well. They gave Warmogs 5% move speed on the item and 10% while you're out of combat. So that's going to be super strong for like roaming around the map. It's going to be really good for like Shen top lane. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And yeah, just honestly, dude, I think it's just really, really good changes. So right now, what we're looking to build after we get our Thorn Mail, I think we look to build a Wit's End. If I'm recalling right, I think we get a Wit's End, because it ends up being like really strong. So yeah, there's a lot of flaming going on in the chat, which, I mean, if you guys noticed, yep, it is what it is. There's a lot of flaming. So here we're just looking to share blue buff with the Aatrox. So looking to go to top lane. I know I could have kept roaming this game, but I knew it was just one of those games where I wanted to get a bunch of play testing in with the items. Like right now, if you were to look at the item, it looks like, yeah, it looks like just like season 11, 12, 13, like Titanic, Bork, Thornmail. Like it doesn't look like anything special, right? Like it looks very similar, which that's something I do like as well. Like, yeah, Mythics were like cool, but I'm glad they got rid of it because it doesn't feel like you're forced to buy something. But the thing with Warwick is he was always a champ that didn't really. Nice, so we're looking at a pretty sweet fight here. I think oh yeah, I ignited the volley, which was a bit of a shame. I meant to ignite the Pantheon, but Cassidy got them both anyway. But yeah. So Warwick, it's not like it was a big thing for Warwick because it wasn't like he was a huge like, oh, I gotta rush to buy this item, you know, this mythic. So here I'm looking to use my E if they were looking to commit. Flip, double fear. Keep chasing the Aurelia. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Heal a couple autos off the minions real quick. Yeah, and as you can see, my Conqueror hasn't really healed me for too much. It's helped, obviously, because it gives you more AD. I wish it would show... I mean, I don't know how they would do this, but I wish they would show you, like, how much extra damage you've done because of the Conqueror, you know? Like, because of you getting the extra AD, the AP, whatever it is. So, am I building Jack Show now? Yeah, I am. Think so? What am I doing here? I get the MR. Oh, no, Wit's End. Yeah. Nice. So this is where I looked at Wit's End. So I was right there. And then I think after Wit's End, I start building towards Jack Show. So because Jack Show now, yeah, okay, it gives 50 armor and MR. Before it gave, I think, 30 armor and MR. And then 5 per legendary item. But now Jack Show, it doesn't increase your armor and MR for each second in combat, or like for each stack that you have of it. It just, once you're fully stacked, which they might do something with it because it just seems like it's kind of like lackluster. It's like, oh, like whenever you're fully stacked, you just gain bonus armor and MR. Like, I don't know. It might stay the same because it's not that it's in like a bad, or it's not like it's like a bad iteration of it, but I just think they could do something better with it. But yeah, so Jack Show now, it's a... Oh, here we go. Got a little bit of fight going on. I think I'm bad position myself. No, I died here. Yeah. I was trying to position myself so that my Titanic would hit the Jinx, but obviously I didn't do it. What was I getting at? Oh, yes. So with Jack Show now, it gives 50 armor and MR. Okay, so obviously it gives more armor and MR just as an item. But in turn, you could argue it doesn't, right? Because if it gave 30 armor and MR before and 5 per item that you had, plus it gave you, I think, 18 from it was like 3 per stack that you had, or 12, whatever it was, 2 per stack that you had, and then after 6 stacks or 8 stacks, whatever it ended up being, is whenever you got your your bonus resist by 30%. Now it's just, okay, whenever you're fully stacked, you get 30% bonus resist, which is still good, but that's why it's a way better, like, you know, 4th item, because once you have high armor, once you have high MR, then yeah, you're going to be getting an extra 40 or 50 armor and MR from that Jack Show bonus resistances, right? So, still a good item, just, you gotta, you know, it's not as good as, you know, Cassante to rush it right away and be busted, like, for champs like that, Ornn, like all these champs that just, oh, you just buy it first and it's OP. It's gonna be much better as you, you know, 4th item or so. So, which you know, you guys are gonna see a lot of videos for that. But I think Iceborn is just straight up nerfed, or Frostfire is just straight up nerfed. But it is what it is. They also changed Lucidity boots. They lowered it by 50 gold, but they got rid of 5. I think before it gave 20 haste, right? Now it gives 15 haste, and it's only 50 gold. 600 gold, so it went down by 50 gold. So right here, I genuinely thought, I was playing this game really late, I genuinely thought that Ashe, like I was like, I don't know what I was thinking there. I was like going towards, I could have just walked like southwest, like right clicking towards the bottom left of my screen, but I don't know why I was just going west, but whatever, it is what it is. So we have enough for our Wit's End, but yeah, that's what I was getting at with certain items being better in certain stages of the game now. So that's going to be great. Bork and Titanic are still going to be really good as that first item, but Wit's End still a bad first item. Jack Show, not terrible, but it is so much better as like a 3rd or 4th item. So yeah, and with the new season 14 coming out, obviously I'm going to try to climb. I really do want to climb, but also like they made climbing so much easier. Like there's no more promos. Like you just go into the next division. Like it's just ridiculous, man. It gets to the point where you don't really like enjoy the climb as much as it was back in the day, because back in the day it was way more like skill, it was way more discipline, like you had to play a lot, like versus, oh, I'm just playing games and, oh nice, I promoted because I was at 80 LP and I just got 22 and I'm in the next division now. Like I don't know, just doesn't seem right to me. Get like 30% of Caitlyn's HP or Ash's HP with that Caitlyn. Oh man, jeez. But yeah, so to each their own with that. But the game is coming to an end right here, so that's gonna be a wrap up for this game very, very shortly. I do plan on doing a lot of jungle videos because jungles, like I said, jungles changed a lot. You don't want to say Warwick is like you know, buffed or nerfed in the jungle. Like he's still kind of, in my opinion, the same spot. I mean, you could say he's a little bit better, but it's like an indirect buff to the champs that aren't as mobile, or they can't go over walls as much, because they made the blue side jungle of the map easier to, you know, rotate around. They made it easier to gank through and stuff like that. But anyways, this ends up being the end of the video here, end of the game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for the long wait, but I'm not gonna lie, the game wasn't as fun. But really looking forward to the game now. So hopefully you guys are pumped. I know I am. Glad to be back. And thanks for watching. Peace.